Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. Okay, today I'm going to do the Thanksgiving book tag, and it was a blog post tag, and I will link all the information down below. And so I'm going to do it for YouTube, and I'm not going to tag anyone. If you want to join in, feel free. And I love Thanksgiving. We're going to be alone this year, which is fine. We usually are. It's not a big deal. And turkey is one of my all-time favorites. So I always love Thanksgiving. So on to the book tag. The first one is Friends or Family, or Friends and Family. A book with a character that feels like family to you. For me, this probably isn't going to be a surprise to a lot of people. That is going to be Hannah Swenson. This just happens to be one of the books that is on my anticipated loves of the fourth quarter. This is the Plum Pudding Murder. Christmas related, obviously. They're set in Minnesota, where my mother's half of the family originates, and they're filled with recipes, and these are always books and characters that just feel like coming home for me. Another one in this that fits under this category for me would be the Diane Mott Davidson series. I will put the first in the series right here. Goldie, her family, her friends, they're all just like Hannah and her family and friends, just easy to relate to and very personable, and I enjoy both of those series immensely. Okay, prompt number 2. Fallen Leaves, a book that fell flat. I am very sad to say that for me, it was A Spark to Match by Jen Toronto. This is the second book in the Matchmaker series. I will link my weekly update below where I talked about DNFing the book. I was so looking forward to this book. I could not wait. And it was horrific. The humor was juvenile. The characters were flat. It was endless talking. Endless conversations about nothing. It fell completely flat. It had none of the charm of the first book in the series. So that's that one. Prompt number 3, Thanksgiving Day Dinner. Want to read every year during this season. So as you know, I don't generally reread books. My TBR is way too long and big, and I don't reread. But what I generally gravitate towards this time of year are cozies or very big chunkers. This year, I'm definitely in the mood for the cozies. And on my list to hopefully read the week I'm filming this is Death on Tap by Ellie Alexander. This is the first book in the Sloane Krause series. Ellie is a reliable, cozy author who writes relatable, fun characters, and her books are well plotted, they're well paced. She does a wonderful job of showing the reader the clues and not telling the reader the clues. So I am always in the mood for a good cozy, and especially this time of year when I can cuddle up under a blanket with a good cup of cocoa. I just love me a good cozy this time of year. All right. Prompt number 4. Turkey. A book with a bird in it. I'm going to choose You Chive Me Crazy by Rich Amoy. This was a NetGalley ARC. It is released. I just recently reviewed this on my weekly update, and there is an African gray parrot in the book, and he was a delightful comedic foil for the story. and he just had personality. Another really good choice for this prompt would be the Donna Andrews series. Every book has a bird theme to it, and I will put the first in the series right here. And they're, again, very well written, very well plotted. I enjoy them immensely. Okay, prompt number 5. Ham. A book that makes your eyes glaze over, aka you're bored. For me, unfortunately, and I have 2 books in this series left to finish, that would be The Killing Tide by Danny Petrie. This is Christian romantic suspense. I have very high hopes for this book. I will link my review down below. It was boring. It was not well plotted pace-wise. It was just, I was bored. And I didn't expect to be, because the back sounded so good, and yet I was bored. This is the first in the Coastal Guardian series. I have books 2 and 3 left to read. I'm hoping those are better than book 1, but this was a definite miss for me, unfortunately. So we shall see. Prompt number 6, Dinner Rolls. A book that melted your heart and made you feel warm. So, I'm picking Sylvanas by the author's listed right there in the book. Name just flew out of my head. This is a very odd choice. I realize a lot of people are going to find this choice very odd for me. And Fireball and Clue are playing right next to me. So this is a World of Warcraft book, and the main character is Sylvanas, and she is a main character in the game, and she has been for a very long time, and a very huge fan favorite. She's not a fan favorite of mine. I have never liked her. However, in this book, well, she doesn't go from villain to loving character. She does go from villain who just has no basis for what she does to a villain that has a basis to what she does. And her backstory in this book was tremendous, and it did melt my heart to Sylvanas, which I would have told you before I read it was nigh on impossible. Just nigh on impossible. But it truly did. I was impressed. So, odd choices are sometimes the best choices. Prompt number 7. Mashed Potatoes. A book with a white cover. I have many books with white covers. One of my favorites I have in digital format is The Mistletoe Countess by Pepper Basham. And I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. I love this book. It's Christian romance. So it's Christian romance. It's the first in the Freddie and Grace mystery series by Pepper. The series only grows in charm from this book, and it is gentle everyday faith. So even if you don't gravitate towards a Christian romance book, but you enjoy a good mystery romance, seriously, try The Mistletoe Countess. You will be happy. And then I have 2 that are on the list for next year, which I haven't talked about yet, but which I will. They are both Arthurian retellings. The first is, I believe this is the 2nd volume. Yep. Enemy of God by Bernard Cornwell. This is book 2 on the Warlord Chronicles. And this is the UK cover. Thus it's gorgeous. And then this is book 1 in the Pendragon cycle by Stephen R. Lawhead. And all of these are the books in the series. And I am trying to get them all on the same cover, obviously, if you know me. And this one, I cannot find Merlin to save my life. And the copies of Merlin I can find are ridiculously expensive, used in bad condition, and not matching. I would pay for a matching cover. I wouldn't mind, because I can find the other, the remaining 3. I can't find Pendragon. I've seen Arthur, I've seen Grail, I haven't seen Pendragon. But Merlin it's next to impossible to find. So I am constantly on the hunt for that one. I mean, constantly. Every time I look at something, I'm looking to see if I can find a copy of Merlin that matches the first book. So we will see. Okay. Prompt number 8. Gravy. A book you're not totally sure why you love, but you do. I thought about this one, and I thought about this one, and I am choosing The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. It is the first book in the series. I will link my video review down below. There are all kinds of things in this book that aren't my favorite. There is swearing. Not a lot of it, but there is swearing in this book. There is spice in this book. It's not the spiciest thing I've ever read by any means. It's not the spiciest thing I know that's on the market, but there is spice in this book. It's young adult. It's dark academia. All of those things they threw in the blender, and it's not necessarily anything I gravitate towards. And Dave loves to call it the Horny Dragon book because, reasons. And yet, this mashup of tropes I don't enjoy, and it was amazing, and I read it in 2 sittings. Only because I had to go to sleep because I was so tired. Otherwise, I would have read it in one day. And it was truly wonderful. I checked that one out of the library. And it was so truly wonderful that I couldn't wait for the library to get the next book in the series in. I bought book 2. I bought book 2. I haven't read anything about it. I don't want to read the inside blurb. The print is small. It's another chunker. This one is 623 pages. But I am here for it. And yeah, I'm definitely reading this. And I'm reading it this... I will probably have finished this by the time you see this video. So, what does that tell you? So, okay. Last prompt, I believe. Yep. Pumpkin Pie. A dessert book you love. I have many. I love to bake, even though we're not eating sweets in this house right now. Or at least my husband is, and I still haven't cut them all out because, well, I'm human. So I'm just going to mention 2. The first is the Great Minnesota Cookie Book. And if you notice, there's a bunch of tabs at the top. I got this, we were still in Pennsylvania, so say 2020. I love it because these all come from real people, real cooks. And these are all, I think these were all reader submitted, but be that as it may, everyone comes with a big old photo of the recipe, what it, should look like. And there's all kinds of, cookies in here. So if, like that one's a peanut butter sandwich cookie. And if if you love to bake and you really love cookies and you're not intimidated by what could be, you know, some challenging cookies versus non-challenging cookies, then easily go pick this one up. Like, it has a recipe for tchotchkes in it. So, I love this cookbook. And I can't find the other recommendation. It would be from Joanne Fluke. Here's a picture of it. Is the Lake Eden cookbook, and it's a collection of the recipes that appear in the books up to the point of publication for that book. I don't know that there's another book in the works for all the books that have occurred since the recipe book was published. I wish they would do that because it is a much more convenient way. And Joanne always has easily approachable recipes, dessert or otherwise, and that is a dessert or otherwise cookbook, and I love them. The other one is Goldie's Kitchen, Diane Mott Davidson. This is a collection of recipes from the Goldie Schmidt series, which I mentioned in question 1. And this is the recipes. She gives a blurb about, you know, she talks about what the characters were going through or what prompted the recipe inclusion in the chapter. And it is more than just sweets. This is a full cookbook, not just a sweet cookbook, but like this is a recipe for ginger snaps. And the best brownie recipe I've ever had in my life, that includes my mother's, is a Diane Mott Davidson recipe. It is for Scouts brownies. They are delicious. No, they are delicious. You will eat the entire pan when you make them. I truly recommend this book. It's just joy. So that is the Thanksgiving book tag. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving and spend time with your family. I am probably not I am not uploading Wednesday and Friday of Thanksgiving week. I'm going to take that week off. I will upload Monday like always, but I want to spend some time with Dave and, you know, some family time, so there will be no videos that week, or bonus videos that week. So enjoy your family, enjoy time off. If you're a booktuber, take some time off, enjoy your family, your friends, go have some fun, and leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.